Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. So, as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget that you can follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur. Also, you can follow me on TikTok at Dr. A Shakur and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, hello, the Goddess V, Mr. Hotel, Danielle is in the house, Kenyetta, Natasha, Pearly. Okay, you all please forgive me for being tardy. Okay, I was in a meeting. Love you, Queen. I'm so excited for this broadcast. Well, thank you, beloved. Okay, hey, Silent D. Shout out to the moderators doing work. Nessa G is in the house. All right, Juju, I see you. Monica. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it now. Hello, Myth King Dean. Samantha's in here. Okay, listen. This is going to be Hey Jag the Diva and Woke One. Thank you, Woke One. All right, Lillian X Claudette. So listen, you all be sure to get those memberships so that you'll be privy to some of the other stuff that's going to be going on, okay? Like the exclusive interviews and also the spiritual classes, all right? So with that all being said, and thank you for those of you who have already gotten memberships, okay? And all of the, for those of you who send me cash apps and super chats, I appreciate you. Okay, so hey, Willie Lump Lump, okay? With that all being said, let's get into it. This is going to be a brief PowerPoints, and I just want to explain to you how the Most High, in all of his works and wonders with creation, inserted his name in our DNA. Okay? Thank you, Juju. Thank you for your kind words, beloved. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. Everyone, please remember to get the likes up. Don't forget to get the likes up. You all know how it is on ScrewTube. You all know how it is. Okay, so here we go. All right, make sure you all can see that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. I don't know how that happened. Okay. The name of God is written in your DNA. So I know many of you have seen this YHWH, which is a tetragrammaton. In Hebrew, back in ancient times, they said that the Most High's name was so worthy of praise and so sacred and holy that no one should speak it. And so that is why they said YHWH was the Most High's name. It didn't have any vowels, and therefore you weren't supposed to be able to pronounce it. It was, in fact, called a tetragrammaton. So let's get into it. So in a rare press conference held during June the 26th of 2000 regarding matters of science, then President Bill Clinton stood beside the leaders of two companies that had completed one of the largest cooperative research efforts in history. The Human Genome Project is what it was called. These were world-renowned scientists that he was there with. Now, let me ask you all this. One's in the chat for any of you that remember this. This was in June of 2000. One's in the chat if you remember this meeting taking place. Okay, because this was supposedly groundbreaking science that was being done. Does anyone remember this? One's in the chat. I guess nobody does, right? See how it pays to do research? Okay, Cherokee Descendant Dale says yes. Okay, Samantha says yes. It pays to do research, beloveds. Okay, so let me continue. Now, through their combined efforts, they produced the first map of our genetic code and opened the door to a new era of medical and life sciences in the 21st century. In describing the significance of the milestone, Bill Clinton declared that the genome was the language in which Yahweh created life. In other words, he was saying this is how God created life. Okay, simply through our DNA codes, which his name is actually in. Now, and mind you, this is not conspiracy theories. This is according to scientists, world-renowned scientists. Now, DNA is composed of 4 elements: hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, and oxygen. When put together, they form the letters YHWG. Carbon is what makes us physical beings. Replacing carbon with nitrogen gives us colorless, odorless, and invisible gases. This forms the letters YHWH, just like the tetragrammaton used in ancient times to say God's name or to display God's name. Now, this is translated into Yahweh. The mapping of our genetic code, or DNA, was a scientific breakthrough. A direct connection exists between us and the Creator. Scientists discovered a map of 4 DNA bases known as chromosomes that have the ability to sustain life. Our DNA has 23 pairs of chromosomes. They are made up of hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, and their acidic counterparts. Now, the secret in our DNA. At the burning bush, God told Moses that he was I am. This name is the tetragrammaton of the Hebrew letters given to Moses: Yod, He, Wav, Wav, He. Now, that means I am who I am. In Exodus 3:15, it says, and God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say the name of the children of Israel: the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Converting the letters. Now, when you compare this 4-letter name to the 4 elements that make up the DNA, the hidden message is then revealed. The key to translating the code of DNA into a meaningful language is to convert elements into letters. Based upon their matching values of atomic mass, hydrogen becomes the Hebrew letter Yod, which is symbolized by the letter Y. Nitrogen becomes He, where you get the letter H. Oxygen becomes the letter Wav, which is where you get the letter W. And carbon becomes Gimel, the letter G. God is omnipresent. Now, these substitutions reveal that the ancient name of God, YHWH, because like I said, you can't pronounce it. Some of us call it Yahweh. Some people even call it Jehovah, because they add a J instead of the Y. And I don't know where they get that, but I'm just telling you, this is what some people do. Now, this is the chemistry that makes up our genetic code. This ancient code lives in our cell bodies. God tells us that he is a part of all that is, or that was, is, and can ever be. The most abundant element in the universe is hydrogen. Now, early descriptions of God tell us that he takes on a form that cannot be seen by human eyes because he's omnipresent. Written in our DNA sequence, all of our cells contain God's divine name. There are 4 nucleic acids that form the basis of the DNA chain. Now, remember, as I said to you earlier, the DNA sequence doesn't just include these 4 elements, but also their acidic counterparts. Okay, so pay attention. Now, there are 4 nucleic acids that form the basis of the DNA chain. These are A, G, C, T. They stand for adenine, which is the letter A, guanine, which is the letter G, cytosine, which is the letter C, and thymine, which is T. Now, there are sulfuric bridges holding the DNA together. Every 10 acids, there's a bridge. And every 5 acids, there's a bridge. Every 6 acids, there's a bridge. And then again, every 5 acids, there's another bridge. You see, this is a pattern. There's a pattern of 10, 5, 6, 5. The Hebrew letters that align with this same pattern are Yod, where you get the letter Y, Hey, where you get the letter H, Wav, where you get the W, and Hey again, where you get the letter H, just like with the DNA. Now, these are the acidic counterparts. I am the one who was, the one who is, and the one to come. Now, are y'all getting this? Are y'all seeing how this is absolutely incredible information? But let's talk about Adam and Eve, because I've told you all numerous of times that much of the Bible, or many of the stories in the Bible, are in fact allegories, stories that hide hidden meanings. Okay, so Adam and Eve. Now, the Bible tells us that Eve was created from Adam's rib. In the book of Genesis 2:22, it says, "Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man." Now, pay attention, because Genesis is where we get the term genes from. Okay, genes. Now, but we should know by now that there are many allegories in the Bible, many stories that have hidden messages. The word for DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid contains information that has been copied from DNA, the other type of nucleic acid. Okay, cells make several different forms of ribonucleic acid, and each form a specific job in the cell or the RNA. Now, why is this important to note? Well, I want you to pay attention to something. If you look on the screen, Kenyatta says, "Thank you for your higher learning, Queen." Well, thank you, beloved, for your kind words and your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. And now, if you look on the screen and you see the word deoxyribonucleic acid, that is the medical term for DNA, which is often abbreviated, of course. But when you look at this word, if you look into the middle, and I just want to point out to you all that I didn't learn this from anywhere. I didn't read this in anyone's scholarly research. I literally came up with this myself. I literally found this information, noticed it myself. Because you see, as you all should know, I often study the etymology of words, and I always look deeper into words, right? And the sacred geometry of words. Now, if you look at this word, deoxyribonucleic acid, what do you see in the center? You see the word rib. You literally see the word rib, okay? Look at it. DEOXYRIB. Okay, you see the word rib right in the center of your DNA. So isn't that likely why they say that Eve was made from Adam's rib? Because she was in fact made from his DNA. Okay? Just pay attention. Now, the proof is in the DNA. Now, look at this word, ribonucleic acid, right? Messenger RNA. If you look at this, there's the word rib again at the beginning. RIB, ribonucleic acid. And so, this is all very interesting. So, when people say that they don't believe in God, I don't know what they believe in. But there has to be a God. You see, the world, the universe, us as human beings, as earthly beings, spiritual beings, we're all like beautiful pictures painted on a canvas. When you look at the landscapes, the sky, the sun, the flowers and trees, everything, butterflies, all the different animals, when you look at this, it's as if the Most High painted a picturesque landscape of life and included himself in all living things. There has to be a creator. We didn't just appear here out of nowhere. There's too much evidence to substantiate the fact that the Most High absolutely did create us by a divine design. Okay? And so I just wanted you all to know that. And again, I said this is going to be brief. But before, thank you. Golden Apple says, beautifully put. Thank you, beloved. And so listen, before I close out, I just want you all to know You know that this is spiritual warfare that's going on right now. There are all sorts of things happening that are just so ungodly. When you think about the fact of these people deleting children, the grandfather the other day that I talked to you about on the other channel who stabbed his 8-year-old grandson. When we think about the man who threw his toddler in the river, the man who just a couple of months ago drove to a church and deleted his 2 children. When we think about the mother who deleted her children because the father didn't want her anymore, these things are all nothing more than spiritual attacks. Okay, they have literally arisen hell to earth. There is a lot of wicked things going on, and there will be a lot more to come. So we need to be praying and meditating and speaking positivity amongst ourselves and praying over our friends and family and loved ones. We also need to continue to say our positive affirmations. All right? Because when you are in spiritual warfare, remember, you must put on the whole armor of the Most High, the whole armor of God. Okay? Thank you, Samantha, beloved, for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings to you. And so with that all being said, I want you all to try as best you can. I know it's not always easy, but I want you all to try as best you can to stay high vibrational and to stay in good and positive spirits and to have an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful for each day that we live to see and be grateful for the people that love you and that surround you with love. Don't worry about your haters, the people who come against you, who try to disparage your name, who try to discredit you, tell lies about you, who just don't like you just for being yourself. Don't worry about those people. Those are low vibrational thoughts, and those people only want to disrupt your peace. Okay? So with that all being said, I know you tried, Lillian. I do too, beloved. You're welcome, Kenyatta. So, what are the positive affirmations, Queen? Well, Danielle, positive affirmations are just basically speaking positivity upon yourself and to others. Like when I tell you all at the close of a broadcast, each one teach one, do something productive and constructive. Look in the mirror. Just remind yourself how grateful you are, how you're a blessing to those who love you, that you're going to do great things. Just say positive things about yourself, because very often people, they start sinking into depression, and then they start feeling, loathsome, almost hating themselves and hating life. And they start thinking very negative thoughts and saying negative things about themselves. And you see, here's the thing. Whether you say these things because you actually believe them, or whether you say them just because you feel sad at the moment, or you're just angry or whatever, your subconscious mind takes everything literally. So you actually speak negativity and then you manifest it. You see, some people wonder, and I told you all this before, some people wonder, why is it that they pray and their prayers don't get answered? Well, because the thing is this, you can't pray with a pessimistic mindset. You can't pray without having an attitude of gratitude. You cannot pray and, have doubts. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot pray like that and expect that your prayers will be answered. Because remember, Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is belief in things unseen. So you have to believe and speak things as they are, even though they are not. And the more you do that, they will be exactly what you speak. The Bible says that whatsoever a man thinketh, that so he is. This is true. If you say that you're broke, if you say that you're sick, if you say nobody cares about you, you're speaking those things into existence. Do you see the universe, which we're connected to, by the way? That's why I spell it Y-O-U, right? Y-O-U, the universe, as well as your subconscious mind, takes everything literally. Some people say that when people are out here, performing rituals and casting spells and things like that, when these people are doing wicked and nefarious things, some people say, well, it's all about the intention. Or when you say something, when you misconstrue words and you say things that you really don't mean, and then people say, well, you have to look at the intent. You don't have to look at the intent, beloved. That's not what you have to do, because you see, the universe and your subconscious mind don't have to know your intent. All they have to know, the universe and your subconscious mind just knows exactly what you said. Okay, Queen, my father and I would love to pay for 2 people to have the top tier membership for 1 month. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Hotel. That is so nice. And tell your father I said thanks as well. That is so very nice. And thank you for the contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So, did you all hear that? Mr. Hotel and his father would like to pay for 2 people to have the top tier membership for 1 month. So that is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude the broadcast, but I want you all to just remember, to make sure you're doing the work. Prayer without works is dead. See, if your prayers are not being answered, that's because you're not putting in the work. Because my prayers are answered. Okay, my prayers are answered because I finally know how to pray. After years of just praying and then still worrying and doubting that the prayers would get answered, well, I finally realized that you have to know that the prayers will be answered and you have to speak it and be specific. And you have to believe and have faith and all of that. And you have to actively be doing the work. If you're praying for a job, don't sit there and think somebody's going to come knock on your door and hand you one, or that it's going to fall in your lap. You have to be out there pounding the pavement, put it in applications, sending out your resume. You have to be actively participating. Okay? Remember, the Most High, you remember they told you when you were kids, God helps those who help themselves. Now, don't depend on God to do all the work, because as earthly, human, and spiritual beings, we have to do the work ourselves as well. All right. So with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel. Please tell someone about this channel. Try to share the videos with at least 2 to 5 people if you can. That would be great, because I'm really trying to grow this channel. Okay. So with that all being said, I love you all to life. I want to thank you all for supporting me in my work. And with that all being said, I will talk to you all again soon, beloveds. All right. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.